The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
It's been a long time since I've seen you. No.
Sam, can we check on the injury situation, please?
We've still got our long-termers, and I think that Garner's had got an hamstring after the Stoke City match, and he'll be assessed, I think, as late as tomorrow morning now, with a 5:30 kick-off. I think that we'll give him the next 24 hours and see what the position is, because obviously our midfield area and positions are quite light of the injuries we got. So we'll wait and see.
Davis, he had a neck injury, did he? Is he okay?
He's been on the 23. He trained yesterday, so I think he's okay. Like, I mean, it's it was good to see a lot of the young players out on international duty doing so well as well. I think they add a lot to the England international scene, and I think that's because of the experience they've gained this year in Everton's first team on a regular basis. So let's hope their improvement continues.
And any update on Gylfi as to when he possibly...
He's out. He's walking now with no brace and no restrictions in terms of walking, but obviously that process goes on from week to week, and his main aim obviously to get fit as quick as he can. There's two reasons: one, to play for us, and two, for the World Cup, obviously.
What's your opinion on how Jordan Pickford performed for England? Is he ready, in your opinion, for the responsibility of England #1 in a major tournament?
Oh, I think so. I think that he's sort of give Gareth a lot to think about. I think that his performance the other night, and then certainly the fact that his performances for us, I know people have gone on about he's conceded a lot of goals this season playing in goal for Everton, but that's not really the stat you look at as a goalkeeper. You look at the sort of saves he makes, and of course he's been extremely busy, and far too busy on some occasions. But recently we've managed to quell that. We've reduced our goals against record massively since I came here. I think we're down to only 1.2 goals per game now. So before I come, it was up past 2. So shows that defensively we're stronger, and that helps the goalkeeper, because he's there when needed, and I think he's always been there when needed. I think everybody makes the odd mistake, but it's very few and far between for him.
No concern then that the spotlight that an England goalkeeper would come under would have an adverse effect on him?
No, because he's been brought up, I think, under first team football and the pressure of first team football from a very young age. So I think that when he started at Sunderland, he went out in non-league football, he went out in League 2, went 3, Championship, Premier League, and now international. So I think his grounding has been exceptionally good. I mean, it's been a very, very good progressive development of his career by playing through the divisions at competitive level, at first team level, rather than sitting in 23s for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And I think that's why he's as good as he is and as young as he is.
Has Michael Keane's opportunity for a World Cup place possibly gone?
I think it depends on how we perform and he performs. I think we've turned around a lot of negativity with our more consistent performances, and Michael has now started to establish himself back into the first team, and I think that if he continues to grow and back to his level best, then he'll put himself in the frame. I think that's a big challenge for him. Go and be at your best for Everton, and will that attract the attention of Gareth again? And can he or possibly get into that squad for the World Cup?
Has he been helped by the return of Phil Jagielka, also Coleman and Bain?
Well, there's no doubt about that. I think even you get your best players fit and your performances increase and improve. I think that you know, the fact that they've been missing for so long, as good as John Joe and Kuko have stepped in and done a fantastic job. The balance of Leighton and Seamus, the experience and the quality of those two players, have not only from a defensive point of view, but also from an attacking point of view. You know, their passing ratio, their experience and their quality is, you know, that little bit better and experience it than Kuko and John Joe. So we're bound to improve our performance levels when those two are playing together.
Do you think if Michael can't force his way into the England squad, then he would benefit from an extended break through the summer after what's been a testing first season here for him?
I think Michael's ambition is to get in the squad and not think about that. I think that, and so he should. Like, I mean, if he's been included and he's been left out, it's always a challenge to you to fight to get back in. The only way you can do that is play at your top level for your club and show what you've got. You know, and he's got a big test coming up, obviously, on Saturday, and that back four has been very, very good in recent weeks, and our own form, our own record has been fantastic since I've been here, and certainly for a couple of seasons the home form has been very good. But you know, can we do it against Manchester City? And we'll have to have people like Michael Keane in the back four playing exceptionally well, and on Saturday against their attacking force. They
are effectively 2 wins from the title, so how do you go about stopping them?
I think that you have to believe you can. I think there's no doubt about walking out on the pitch. What is your frame of mind? And you have to be in a positive frame of mind to get out there and challenge yourself against Manchester City and say that we can go and challenge them, and we can play against them, and on any given day you can get results against them, but we will have to play our best. There's no doubt about that.
What has been the difference for them? Is it a case that Pep Guardiola has learned from his experience last season, or is it now the players have learned from the manager?
And 350 million does have a bit to do with it. In all fairness, the money's been really well spent, hasn't it? I think that, you know, it's a lot of money, but it's been spent on quality players over the short period there, and I think that and those players have brought so much more to the team overall. I think that the average age of the player has been reduced, I would think, if you look at it, you know, and certainly the confidence has grown, where they believe every game they walk out on, they're not going to get beat, and that grows and becomes another force before they even start. So we can't be intimidated by that. We've got to go out and get our game plan in place, and we've got to master our game plan tomorrow throughout the 90 minutes to get a result against the team that's, you know, riding high. I don't think anybody's ridden high at the top of the Premier League this far away ever in its involvement. So it's a big challenge for us, and I think one we should really look forward to, on the basis that we've just come off the back of a back-to-back wins. We've got a good home record. There's a few players missing that we maybe like to make fit, but the ones who have been out on the pitch have been doing the business recently. So go and do your very best and see if that's good enough on the day.
Do you put them in the bracket then of the best team that you've seen in the Premier League, or do you have to do it over?
There's one of them. I suppose in the end it's sustainability then after this season, and where would they go, you know, from here? You know, and if they actually go and win the Champions League as well, then, you know, that puts them right up there, doesn't it? Like, you know, so but winning the Premier League with such a gap is certainly going to give them one of the top teams ever to be in the Premier League.
On form since you took over here, Everton are 6th in the Premier League. What does that do for your own position, do you feel?
What does it do for my own position? It just says that we've steadied the ship, and we've put fears of relegation behind us, you know, considerable time ago, really, because I can't remember. I think there's only been out the top half for maybe a week or two since I've been here, you know. So we went on the run early, and then we picked up points, and particularly at home. But, you know, we've sort of stayed in and around 10th or better for a long period of time now. So now it's about the last 7 games on how many points we can total up. And of course these 2 big games now are our biggest challenge of the season, of course, at home. So can we get some points against Manchester City and Liverpool, and then go on from there?
As well as that, how far along with plans for next season? Because you're continually linked with players already. Jack Wilshere, anything in that, for instance?
I think that any player that's available or is going to leave his club of any decent quality would be of interest to us, without mentioning any specific names. But I still have to say that we have a huge amount of players here already, and so until we actually sit down all together and draw up our plan for the exits and the incomings, it's speculation at the moment.
Sam, how much do you, as a fellow manager, admire Pep Guardiola, given the success he's had in all the countries he's been to?
Well, the challenge is that he can go to any country he wants and deliver. It's a bit like us, you're saying it. You know, he's done that in his career, and I think his ability to find quality players, or the club he's working at helping recruitment to find those players, and the way he wants to play, and the way he fits players into the system that he wants to play. I mean, obviously, in his first season, he was just finding his way, you know, as every player does. Every manager coming from above has to find his way in this league, and he's done that, and he's identified what was wrong, and he's put it right, and he's managed to do that, be it all the biggest clubs in Germany and Spain, and he's making Manchester City one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League.
As much as you've had a long career, do you still relish playing against teams when you've got a team as good as Manchester City? Do you still relish that challenge?
Well, yeah, because it's the best league to challenge yourself with the best coaches in the world here now. I think that you know, as a challenge to you've got your players that you have to try and give them a game plan, where everybody is saying it's going to be difficult for us to go out and get results against such a top team. But can we master that game plan to try and get that result? And you know, and then when we come off the field, we'll be very satisfied. So I think that we've got to, you know, obviously believe in what we're doing tomorrow. I think the sad thing for me is, of course, is not sad, but the difficulty is everybody on international duty, and only really getting today to put that plan in place. And I think you'd like a couple of days to get the plan together and put it more to players. But it's the same for Manchester City as well. So we've got to do that plan today and hope the lads get out there and deliver it the best they possibly can.
You've got the best home record outside the top 6. I think it's in the top 4 since you came into the club. Has that been the key, Sam, to turn?
It has definitely been the key, because our away record certainly for a few seasons, not just with me, hasn't been good enough. Like, I mean, but at least we won at Stoke, so certainly the home record has to be maintained. But it's going to be very, very challenging for us if we can maintain that record against first Man City and then Liverpool. But then it's very, very important that we continue to improve our away results as well. But for the moment, it's focusing on Manchester City, 5:30 tomorrow, and BT. You know, massive game for us to go out and show what we've got.
In terms of getting the belief into the players, they can get a result. Obviously, last year Everton had a great result against City at Goodison, and earlier in the year drew at the Etihad. Will that have a psychological impact, do you think?
I hope it does for our players. Yeah, they take confidence from that. I mean, I remember watching that on the television and being particularly impressed that day with Dominic. So yes, we can. You know, Bristol City. So there are times when, you know, if you play your best, there's the possibility of getting a result. And when Bristol City go and get a draw against Manchester City on their own patch, shows that sometimes they haven't often been vulnerable, but sometimes they have. And, you know, can we make it one of those days tomorrow?
Okay, guys.
Thanks up.
Thank you.
Thank you.